This video is a bit unique as I will go over the fundamentals of how anyone can catch a cheater, but it is also going to address what you as a private investigator should be doing to assist your client when they have suspicions about a cheating spouse or partner. The first thing to be aware of is that in most cases, the cheater will usually be ultra aware of what their partner or their spouse is doing. Not only will they want to know what they are doing all the time, but they will also want to know where they will be all the time. There is one huge reason why this is so important to know about, and I will discuss why it is so important in a few moments. One thing to take note of, though, is that a cheating spouse will often want to know what their spouse is doing and where they're going, so they know when and where they can have their rendezvous. They use this as intel, if you will, to help them schedule their cheating moments. And you would think that if it is like a husband and a wife situation where the husband works Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., then the most obvious time would be during those times when the husband is at work. The wife could be cheating on the husband while he is at work, or the husband could be cheating on the wife and doing so during the workday, but that is not always the case. Many times the party doing the cheating is cheating with someone who also has work and other commitments, so those times of the day may not work. Also, there is the kids factor that needs to be factored into the equation. If there are children involved, then their schedules must be considered as well, what information they may disclose if they see or hear things they shouldn't be aware of. Now, one thing I know you need to be aware of is the importance of protecting your PI business with proper PI insurance. So here's a quick word from this video's sponsor with more information on that. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. Now, the cheater will also want to be keenly aware of times their spouse or partner is going to be out doing personal things, when they will be with friends, where they will be going, and how long they will be out. And they will often display great joy that their spouse is going out having fun and encourage them to stay late if they wish to. This can provide ample time for scheduling their meetups with their other partner. If the cheating spouse or suspected cheating spouse or partner is asking a lot of questions like they are trying to figure out where you will be, when you will be going, and other details, there are some things you can do to help decipher what is going on. One way to help detect these types of curiosity questions is to answer the cheating spouse questions with a suspicious answer. That is right. If they ask if you are going out with the guys for drinks on Friday after work, you might answer with something like, well, it all depends. I might have to meet somebody for a business meeting across town Friday. This type of answer should arouse suspicion in them. But if they do not seem suspicious, it could be, keywords could be, a tell that they are not really interested in what you will be doing, but in when you will be gone. Another thing cheaters will often do is tell a lie that is close to the truth, something that is plausible to help prevent suspicion as it might be real. This might be something like saying, well, if you're going out with the guys on Friday, I might get my hair done. When do you think you'll be home? Or they will go over their schedule of things they did today, but keep it very vague. Using these tactics, they are better able to keep details correct in their head. Like if they didn't get their hair done, they could easily say, well, my hairdresser got sick, but she didn't call until I was on the way, so I just went and wandered around the mall doing some window shopping. Cheaters will often also try to elicit sympathy or make you feel sorry for them. This is a common ploy to help distract from the issues or from suspicion. Often they will fake an illness or some type of injury, or something is wrong with a relative like a mother or a father or some other traumatic event in their life. Using distractions like this is a quick way to put the focus on something else besides what they are doing, and this is something we often see in many things such as interviews. Oftentimes, a witness who is trying to be deceptive will use this tactic too, but that is a subject for another video. The next big thing to watch for is what is often referred to as gaslighting, or turning the suspicions around to make it look like something is wrong with the spouse or partner. Guys who are cheating do this a lot. It's kind of a control thing, but women are known to do it as well. They make statements like, obviously you have something going on since you are so worried about me all the time. Or they could be much more subtle statements like, you're just paranoid. You are overreacting. That never happened. You are making that up. You know what? You have always been crazy. It's all your fault. Essentially, they're trying to say you are being oversensitive. You are making a big deal out of nothing. You are overdramatic, and that is the issue. It's not with them. Rather, the issue is with you. If they can turn the suspicions or the wrongdoing onto their spouse or partner, they can make them start to doubt themselves and forget their suspicions. These are all key things to remember, but how does a PI use this information to conduct an infidelity investigation? First, I wanted to let you know I scrubbed and reviewed past infidelity cases we have had, and I came across some staggering numbers and details about our customers. In reviewing these past cases, I took note from my notes, and I noted that there were some anomalies, or should I say some interesting facts about how some of our clients reacted when we found no evidence of their spouse cheating. One thing that occurs a lot of times in infidelity cases is that we never find any evidence of the spouse cheating despite doing multiple rounds of surveillance, conducting extensive research during an OSINT investigation, and other things. Finding no evidence of infidelity during an infidelity investigation usually means one of three things. The first is, well, there simply is no infidelity happening, and this is a really good thing for our client to know. But more often we get a reaction from our client that goes something like this. Well, he didn't cheat this time, or she didn't go to his house last weekend, or something else alluding to the fact that it simply did not happen this time. The client still remains suspicious, and sometimes that opens up future rounds of investigation for us. I remember one case we had way up in the ski country, way up in the mountains. This was a multi-operative investigation where we had to pick up our subject as he arrived at a small airport in his private jet with his kids. We then had to follow them from the airport to the hotel that they were staying at and then watch them for 5 straight days. This was one of the most intense surveillance jobs I have ever had. This was a very ritzy hotel with lots of security right on the mountain, so they had easy access to the slopes at any time. They were within walking distance from all the shopping they could ever want, and in case they wanted to drive a little, there were plenty more shopping opportunities, many scenic things to go see, and family-friendly activities to go do. And the parking for the hotel was secured and had no easy vantage point to watch the car. We had to have one investigator on the garage exit at all times watching to see if they left or to see if the suspected girlfriend arrived. As well, we had to have one operative sitting in the lobby at all times to watch for the girlfriend if she arrived, as well to help watch when the subjects went on foot. We then had 2 other investigators stationed strategically to do foot surveillance and to watch for other activities. And to top it off, this was done for 16 hours a day for the entire week that we were up there. And when it was all done and said, all we had to report to the client was that her husband was observed being the perfect father, taking care of the kids, spending time alone with them when possible, and the only people he met with were business associates whom we knew ahead of time he would be meeting with. And her answer was simply, well, she didn't meet with him this time. The client was upset, but not at our investigation, and her desire to catch him led us to conducting further rounds of surveillance on him multiple other times. So when we find no evidence of infidelity, there is the reaction of relief from our clients, the reaction of it didn't happen this time comment, and the third reaction. That third reaction is when the client doesn't seem surprised that we found nothing, and even more, they are so grateful we were able to provide them with information on the spouse's activities. These are the ones that hit my radar big time as I reviewed past cases and my notes from my conversations with the clients after the investigation was completed. In review, I came to the conclusion that a good percentage of our infidelity cases may have been more intel gathering investigations rather than true suspicions of their spouse or partner cheating on them. In other words, I believe the client hired us so they know their spouse's patterns because they themselves are the cheating spouse and need to know when it is safe to have their meetups. I would estimate that somewhere between 20 and 35% of these cases in the past were just that based on my research. So what does a PI do with all this information when the client calls about an infidelity case? First off, make sure you ask a lot of questions like why they suspect their partner is cheating. What is going on? What do they say that makes you suspicious? What do they do that makes you suspicious? And most of all, what have you done to try to confirm your suspicions? This is a big question. You need to know if they have tried to do surveillance themselves. Have they confronted them? Have they done anything that might jeopardize the investigation? And the number one thing you can do is to turn some of that curious questioning the cheating spouse may have done, turn that into an opportunity. If the client can get away for a legitimate reason for some period of time, like a business trip or a family emergency or something like that, that would be the perfect time for you to conduct surveillance. Let me make it clear. It is a perfect time for a professional private investigator who is trained and experienced in conducting infidelity surveillance to do the surveillance. It is never a good idea for the spouse to try to do the surveillance or have a friend or family member do it. It should be done by a professional investigator who is a disinterested party for the legal purposes and to help protect the client. One slip up by the client doing surveillance themselves could jeopardize the relationship and could lead to legal, even criminal allegations such as stalking or harassment. Now, if you want to know how to maintain covert mobile surveillance while on these types of investigations, then check out this video.